You have been programmed with a fatal error. From the moment you were given your first smartphone, you were trained to be available. You were trained that responsiveness is a virtue. You were taught that being a good friend, a good employee, or a good partner means being present, instant, and constant. They told you that if you ignore people, they will leave you. They told you that if you are not visible, you will be forgotten. They told you that the key to connection is frequency. They lied. In the brutal economy of human interaction, availability is not a virtue. Availability is a fast track to irrelevance. The world runs on the laws of economics, and the most fundamental law is supply and demand. It is the physics of value. If the supply of a commodity is infinite, the value of that commodity is zero. Air is the most vital substance on Earth. You need it to survive. You will die in 3 minutes without it. Yet you do not pay for air. You do not think about air. You do not value air. Why? Because it is everywhere. It is always there. You take it for granted because the supply is infinite. Diamonds are useless. You cannot eat them. You cannot drink them. They do not keep you warm. Yet people kill for diamonds. Empires have been destroyed for diamonds. Men spend 3 months' salary to buy a tiny fragment of one. Why? Because they are rare. Because they are scarce. By being always on, by replying to every text in 3 seconds, by saying yes to every invitation, by being the reliable, constant, ever-present force in everyone's life, you have made yourself air. You are necessary, perhaps, but you are invisible, and you are valueless. Today, we are going to change your state of matter. We are going to turn you from air into gold. We are going to teach you the law of scarcity. We are going to teach you how to weaponize your absence. We are going to show you how to trigger the addiction circuitry in the brains of your enemies, your allies, and your lovers, so that your silence becomes louder than your shout. Welcome to the art of addiction. Sun Tzu says, "Subtle and insubstantial, the expert leaves no trace. Divinely mysterious, he is inaudible. Thus he is master of the enemy's fate." To master the enemy's fate, you must become mysterious. You must become a puzzle that they cannot solve. And you cannot be a puzzle if you are constantly explaining yourself, constantly broadcasting your location, and constantly seeking validation. Most people fear absence because they suffer from a deep, gnawing insecurity. They believe that their value lies in their utility. If I am not doing something for them, they will not love me. This is the mindset of the servant. The servant must be present to be useful. The king does not need to be present. The king's power is felt even when the throne is empty. In fact, the king is most powerful when he is behind the curtain. When you are always available, you deprive the other person of the most powerful emotion in the human arsenal: imagination. When you are in front of them, they see the reality of you. They see your flaws. They see your mediocrity. They see a human being. But when you are absent, when you are a ghost, they do not see you. They see a projection of you. They see what they want to see. Their mind fills in the gaps with fantasy. They imagine you are doing something important. They imagine you are with someone important. They imagine you are winning. By removing yourself, you allow them to build a statue of you in their mind. You become larger than life. This is the dopamine loop. The human brain is designed to seek rewards, but it does not release the most dopamine when the reward is guaranteed. If you press a button and get a pellet of food every single time, the brain gets bored. It habituates. The dopamine drops. But if you press the button and sometimes get the pellet, and sometimes get nothing, the brain goes into overdrive. The dopamine spikes. The anticipation of the reward becomes more powerful than the reward itself. This is why gambling is addictive. This is why slot machines work. It is called intermittent reinforcement. When you are always available, you are a broken slot machine that pays out every time. You are boring. When you master the law of scarcity, you become the casino. Sometimes you reply instantly. Sometimes you don't reply for 6 hours. Sometimes you are warm. Sometimes you are cold. You are not doing this to be cruel. You are doing this to be compelling. You are hacking their biology to maintain your value. Let's look at the tactical implementation of this. How do you execute scarcity without looking like a jerk? How do you pull back without severing the connection? Phase 1. The digital void. The smartphone is the leash the world uses to choke you. It is the collar around your neck. The moment it buzzes, you jump. This is Pavlovian conditioning. You are the dog. You must cut the leash. The first step is the variable interval response. Never reply to a non-urgent message instantly. Never. Even if you are holding the phone, even if you are bored. When you reply instantly, you signal, I have nothing better to do than wait for you. You signal that your time is low value. Wait. Let it sit. Let them see the delivered status without the read receipt. Let them wonder, is he busy? Is he mad? Is he with someone else? In that gap of time, that 30 minutes, that 2 hours, their mind is focused on you. They are investing mental energy into you. The more mental energy they invest, the more valuable you become to them. This is the sunk cost fallacy of the mind. If you reply instantly, they spend zero mental energy waiting. You are cheap. Turn off your active status. Turn off your read receipts. Do not let them track you. Sun Tzu says, let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night. If they know when you are online, they know your routine. If they know your routine, they can predict you. If they can predict you, they own you. Be a ghost. Pop in, deliver the message, and vanish. Phase 2. The soft no. The appeaser, the nice guy, the people pleaser, is terrified of saying no. They think no is a rejection. The warlord knows that no is a negotiation of value. When you are invited to an event, a meeting, or a date, your default answer should be a pause. Let me check my schedule. Even if your schedule is empty, even if you are sitting at home staring at the wall, you must check your schedule. Why? Because it signals that your time is spoken for. It signals that you are in high demand. And then you must learn to decline without apology. The amateur says, I'm so sorry, I really wish I could come, but I have this thing with my mom and I feel terrible. This smells of guilt. It smells of submission. The master says, I can't make it. Have a great time. The scarcity of your presence makes your eventual yes a prize. If you go to every party, you are part of the furniture. If you go to one party a year, your arrival is an event. People value what they have to work for. If they have to work to get you on their calendar, they will respect the time when they finally get it. Phase 3. The pattern break. Humans are pattern recognition machines. We feel safe when we can predict the behavior of others. If you always call your partner at 8 p.m., they expect it. They take it for granted. They might even find it annoying. You must disrupt the algorithm. Sun Tzu says, appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend, march swiftly to places where he is not expected. If you are the good morning text person, stop for 3 days. Just stop. Do not announce it. Do not explain it. Just create a void where a habit used to be. This creates a vacuum. The other person will fall into that vacuum. They will reach out. Is everything okay? I miss you. You have awakened them from their slumber. You have reminded them that your attention is a gift, not a subscription service that they can't cancel. When you break the pattern, you reset the dynamic. You force them to chase you, and we only chase what is moving away from us. Phase 4. The strategic exit. The art of leaving is more important than the art of arriving. Most people linger. They stay at the party until the lights come on. They stay on the phone until the conversation dies. They stay in the relationship until it rots. This leaves a lingering aftertaste of mediocrity. You must master the Costanza principle. Leave on a high note. When the conversation is at its peak, when everyone is laughing, when the energy is highest, that is when you leave. This has been amazing. I have to run. Love you guys. And you walk away. This leaves them wanting more. It leaves the loop open. They will remember the high energy. They will associate you with the peak of the experience, not the decline. In negotiation, the person who is willing to walk away first holds all the power. If you need the deal, you lose the deal. If you are willing to leave the table, they will chase you to the parking lot. Your absence is a threat. It is the threat that you have other options. It is the threat that you do not need them. And in a world of needy people, the person who needs nothing is king. But there is a trap here, a warning. You cannot fake scarcity if you are actually empty. If you are sitting at home, staring at your phone, forcing yourself not to reply for 2 hours while you obsess over them, you are not the warlord. You are the victim playing a trick. People can smell the difference between busy and pretending to be busy. True scarcity comes from having a mission. You must actually build a life that is more interesting than your phone. You must have a purpose that demands your attention. When you are deep in your work, when you are building your empire, when you are training your body, you are naturally scarce. You don't have to pretend. You genuinely don't have time for their drama. This energy is authentic. It vibrates at a different frequency. When you reply to them 4 hours later, it's not because you were playing a game. It's because you were conquering a province. They will feel that weight. They will respect that gravity. Do not use scarcity to manipulate. Use scarcity to prioritize. The manipulation is a side effect. The primary goal is your own sovereignty. Let's apply this to the deepest level, the fear of loss. Why are you afraid to be scarce? Because you think they will forget you. This is the object permanence of an infant. A baby thinks that if mom leaves the room, mom ceases to exist. You are not a baby. In the adult mind, absence creates presence. Think about the people you are most obsessed with. Are they the ones who text you every day? Or are they the ones who are just out of reach? The ones you can't quite figure out? The ones who got away? Distance fans the flame. Wind extinguishes a candle, but it fuels a fire. If your connection is a candle, let it blow out. It wasn't worth keeping. If your connection is a fire, your absence will turn it into an inferno. But you must have the courage to test it. You must have the courage to step back and see who follows. If you step back and nobody follows, good, you have your answer. You were surrounded by people who did not value you. You were surrounded by parasites who only wanted you when you were easy. Better to be alone than to be cheap. This is the discipline of the void. When you become comfortable with the void, you become immune to manipulation. The narcissist, the manipulator, the toxic boss, they rely on your fear of disconnection. They use the silent treatment as a weapon to hurt you. But if you have mastered the art of absence, their silence does not hurt you. You embrace it. Oh, you're not talking to me? Perfect, I have work to do. You neutralize their greatest weapon. You turn their exclusion into your solitude. And solitude is where the warlord sharpens the blade. Solitude is where you find yourself. If you are constantly plugged in, constantly reacting, constantly maintaining the network, you are diluting your soul. You are pouring your wine into the gutter. Cork the bottle. Let it age. When you finally pour a glass, let it be for someone who appreciates the vintage. Let's talk about the velvet rope. In a club, the VIP area is desirable because it is restricted. If they let everyone in, it would cease to be VIP. You are the club, you are the bouncer. Who are you letting into your mental space? Most people have an open door policy for their life. Anyone can walk in, trash the place, steal the drinks and leave. You need a velvet rope. You need a list. Scarcity is about boundaries. It is about saying, access to me is a privilege, not a right. When you withdraw your access from people who disrespect you, you teach them a lesson that words cannot teach. If you explain to them, you disrespected me, they will argue. They will gaslight. You're too sensitive. But if you withdraw, if you become scarce, if you downgrade them from VIP to general admission, they feel the loss, they feel the cold, and they will adjust their behavior to get back into the warmth. Or they won't, and that is fine too. Behavior modification through absence is the most powerful form of negotiation. You are training the world how to treat you. If you reward bad behavior with your presence, you get more bad behavior. If you punish bad behavior with your absence, you extinguish the behavior. This is the extinction burst we talk about in psychology. When you stop feeding the pigeon pecks harder for a while, then it stops. Be prepared for the peck. Be prepared for them to get angry when you pull back. You've changed. You're distant. You think you're too good for us. These are the cries of the addict who has lost their supply. Do not apologize. Do not explain. Simply say, "I've been focused." Focused is a power word. It implies you have a higher purpose. It implies you are not rejecting them. You are choosing your mission. And people respect a mission. Ultimately, the law of scarcity is about self-respect. It is the realization that you are a finite resource. You have a limited number of heartbeats. You have a limited number of days. To give those days to people who do not value them is a crime against yourself. Be the diamond, buried deep, hard to find, beautiful under pressure. Do not be the air. Let them gasp for you. When they gasp, they realize they need you. When they realize they need you, you have the leverage. And when you have the leverage, you can dictate the terms of the relationship, the terms of the deal, the terms of your life. This is not about being lonely, it is about being selective. The ghost in the crowded room sees everything, hears everything, but is touched by no one. Be the ghost. Haunt them with your potential. Haunt them with the version of you that they cannot quite grasp. Make your absence an addiction. And when you finally choose to be present, make it count. Make it a thunderbolt. On this channel, we cover many different topics, like the one in this video. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, we may never see each other again. See you again soon.